Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Gonna go over one more thing. Just gonna make sure the stream's on first before we start. I managed to misrecord during the initial broadcast, so we're just gonna make sure that everything's good and going again here on our end. It is fantastic. We can see everything. We sure can. We're gonna frame. All right, let's get this going. I will try to be even more TLDR-ish than I was before, just so we can get through this as quick as possible. We're going to be looking at a Holy Priest POV from Fracture Guess for the most part. The raid plan has been updated. Let's go ahead and get this started, okay? So the main thing in P1 is the hardest part of the fight. So if we can learn P1 and do your best to learn it, I think the rest of the fight goes down a lot quicker and with a lot less fewer pulls. So you're just going to get your mark and then you're ready to rotate. Boss activates after the frontal, I believe. So the frontal happens, you'll notice ranged and melee will get into positions for their web bombs before the boss actually moves. And then as soon as the boss is ready to move, he just follows along. The melee groups, there's new ones here. It'll be Walks and Bull, Shiro, and gosh, I don't remember. Where's my nice? Here it is. Shiro and Sethix, and Ash and Zork will be picking up these bombs. You stand in them as soon as they drop, and then you'll link. People out here will just stand in them right away no matter what, and you'll move to the left to drop your next one. The group of 3 of us will continue rotating around. Other than that, this one they rotated clockwise, right? Yeah, or is that counterclockwise? Sorry. I don't think it matters. Yeah, so they rotate counterclockwise here. I don't think it really matters. We can rotate the other way. I think that's what I have on the sheet. We can also feel it out and see what feels better. We'll figure this out for the first one before raid, but you'll just rotate. The main thing here that we can do better, especially from night 1, is the scarab pull-ins here. So the way we do this better is the blue group. So if you're a melee in the blue group, you have more free time in terms of being under the boss to get more cleave off. If you're a red group player, you cannot be under the boss. You have to be on the outskirts because, of course, if you go under the boss as well, you will touch each other and blow up. The main time you're not allowed under the boss is when that acid rain is coming out in P1 because it drops an orb. We don't want any orbs under the boss because they are impossible to see and make it very difficult. So blue group will get priority. The red group you'll see will be in melee with their webs. This should be a little bit more consistent and easier for healers. We just pop it on the side. Bada boom, bada bing. We have one more rain here. We'll do one more drop. It'll be a basic rotate. Boom. Scariest part of these fights as well, I'll touch on it real quick. There's an AoE before the charge, very scary. When you get pulled in P2 or P3 into the middle to the tall skinny boss, that is also scary. And there's overlaps of that in P3 that make it scary. Every time the dispel comes off in P2, it's 2.5 million damage per dispel. So healers are majorly keeping you up, but you're going to have to play very heads up. Wherever this debuff is on your UI, you should put it where you're always going to be able to look at it when you're soaking balls. You cannot miss this. Put this on your character if you need, wherever will make the most sense for you, but you absolutely cannot forget about it, okay? So we dropped, we rotated, we can just rotate clockwise, that's fine. Sort of solves the issue, and then we rotate to this next boss, or the next side. Red is the first group over, so they'll be on this far side. Okay. The main thing here is immunities. Mages will have ice block. This is a bait on blue. If you use an immunity here for any web or poison soak, if you use an immunity, does not spawn a ball under you, nor does it give you the debuff. So very, very strong. This is a double set of debuffs here into a charge. So mitigating damage here is going to be very important. So mages will ice block if you have bubbles and stuff. Really, really good spot here. Outside group will pop. Boom. We'll rotate again. Boom. Bada boom. Bada bing. Okay. Same thing. You're going to be holding it. So burrow charge. Everyone took a lot of damage. I wrote this on the sheet. You'll know when it's coming in terms of damage incoming. And then it's a charge and nuking the boss. And that's it. That's all P1. If we can get this down really clean, the rest of the fight comes together relatively easily. Okay. So we go into intermission. There's going to be 4 marks available in intermission, just like this. I've set it up. These is the mark you will stand on to spread. If you check the rate assignment sheet, there is intermission positions. The ones on the outsides for fat American, cheese, mulg, and zesty are noted here, and these are used for P1. They are not used for P2, so do keep that in the back of your mind. The rest of these circles here do exist, although we do not need strict formations. I just thought having numbers here, like the 1, 2, 3 for bull, Sussex, or can sort of give you an idea like, oh, I can be on the most outside and we're going to play like that, just so we don't have all the melee trying to be in front. So this is like a loose spread area. No one really takes this spreading into very detailed like that picture, but I think it's good to have a rough idea of where you should be so you can place yourself around them. We can know if someone's completely in the wrong spot and double soaking, right? Because we can't double drop. But you notice this is how they stack. So this phase goes, I wrote it on my sheet. I think it's left, right, right, left. Sorry, it's right, left, left, right for marks. So there's 2 marks down for one side. There is skull and square on one side and X and something on the other. So this one you'll be on the right mark. These 2 are off in Narnia. They're their own players, so you ignore them, although you will have to heal them. You will drop, and we will always rotate clockwise in this phase. And we might do different in P1 for the counterclockwise. We'll see how it feels, like 2 pulls in maybe. But right now for the fight, we always rotate clockwise. Now you will stand on the left mark, which is X, and then you will, here they rotate counterclockwise, you'll see. There's no difference between clockwise and counterclockwise here. It's exactly the same thing. So we will just continue to rotate clockwise. And that's it. You do this for the entirety of the phase and you're done. Right? If we rotate clockwise, that's this way. We would have to stop right here before this first one explodes. And then we would just walk in, right? Yeah, so that's what we'll do. Same thing. Same. I think that makes sense. Although I guess maybe not. I'll think about that. That might change. But we'll rotate whichever way we tell us. And then you break it, okay? Now we're into P2. P2 is all about the same thing as Heroic, the tall skinny bitch, right? So the way this will work is mainly dispels and web pulls. So there's one rule for the web pull. In P2, it's very simple. If you get pulled in first, you will split left and right. Your groups are assigned on the assignment sheet, here. Just like so. So if red group gets pulled and you're splitting left and right, it'll go pure Sussex, Kyle, Shiro, Zork running left. The other 5 running right? Very simple. The reason we do this, and you'll see it right here, the first pull is blue on this, so it's not as clear. But they will get pulled, and right after a pull happens, the next group gets pulled. Leaves an orb from where you got pulled from. So this group will split left and right. The reason they're doing this is so when this group gets pulled, they don't explode, and this group will just walk straight. Every time after this pull, there's a big circle around the boss, so the group on the other side will rotate their orbs a little bit later. If you run the same side as someone who's breaking on you, you'll just naturally break on your own afterwards. Very, very simple. Then we have dispels. Every time it's dispelled, like I said, 2.5 million damage. I have it written on the sheet for how many we want before a boss TP. On this first one, the boss does not TP anywhere, so we just slowly work through. Every time we dispel, there's a 5% damage amp on this tall skinny bitch. She'll be hitting her here. These adds. P2, they're still adds. They will get gripped in. Blue group is prioritized in terms of killing these, so they will be played around the blue group. Not sure who thunderstormed or something. That was an interesting decision. And we're slowly working through dispels. Same as Heroic, only the people dispels. Dispels go like this. 2, 1, dispel, 2, 1, dispel, 2, 1, dispel. Last dispel, we'll do it 1 second left in the big boom. So we get maximum damage amp, okay? Now you just slam the boss. And that's kind of all of P2. There's not much more to it than this. Basic frontals, that's kind of it. We'll see it one more time around here, and you'll get a good sense of how it goes. So red's baiting a frontal here. They rotate left. They bait a frontal, they rotate left. We can always rotate the other way in terms of clockwise. Wherever the boss TPs to for the whole fight, the side that you were closest to is the side that you will end up running to. Okay, so you notice red gets pulled, so they don't want to be too far. They can be a little bit farther away because keep in mind right after the pull there's a circle. So since they're pulled first, they'll be left and right groups, so you have to know what side you're in. They will split to give room for the people in the middle, and then they will break. And then right after this, they will soak. You can soak up to 3 orbs. 2 is preferred. Wherever this is, make sure it's in the middle of your screen so you don't fucking fuck it up or you die. And then we have dispels again, right? That's it. Ads are out. Blue group's taking care of those, trying to. All CC doesn't work on ads. You'll see this guy fears it. Super, super strong. And then I believe it gets gripped in from there. It ends up waddling its back out, and then it gets kicked out again. Ursul's is used here. We're bringing them onto the boss in the middle, mainly because here it's with the damage amp, right? So you can get double cleave. So that's what we'll be aiming to do here. And that's it. That's all the phase. That's literally all of P2. It's super simple. I don't think it's too hard. Maybe random deaths to weird damage overlaps, but just be heads up with what you're doing, and it should work out fine. So this is Kurog intermission. Hopefully it's not bugged. If it's bugged, some of the damage comes out later than what it shows on the screen. So let's say it's fixed. We're going to practice video if it is. We're just always going to rotate to the right. To the right is counterclockwise. Did I put rotate right, rotate right? Maybe I make us rotate. Maybe it's counterclockwise the whole fight. To the right. Could be second guessing myself. But this is fine. So the key thing here, this phase, is just you drop orbs and you do have to pick them up, but it's to not stress about it, okay? So you notice they come, they're walking, you're like, oh, I can soak those orbs. Some of the classes are ahead, right? So they can beat ahead and soak a few, but you'll notice this one comes out. The play here is just to sit and wait, right? Boom. This one pops. Now we do have to get them. We're in a little bit of a rush because we're running out of time. There's a nice little timer here. You should have this on your screen, and you have to soak before that timer. That's it. Then we just drop and keep going. So we might keep going counterclockwise. We'll see. I'm not sure. Either call will go right or left. It's as if you're facing the boss. And that's it. That's the entirety. We set to soak our balls. You'll see we're getting kind of low here in terms of time. Somehow we got them all. Okay? Or they got them all, I should say, not us. Now into the next phase. Wherever this boss spawns, you'll go to the side that's closest to you. This is P3. P3, the difference is there are no more ads. That's fantastic. There is no web bombs. That's fantastic. The way you get the webs is from the pull-in. That does damage. And then you have to use that pull-in to stop the charge. Very simple. The way we handle this is also quite simple. So there's two overlaps in this fight, in P3, excuse me, where the red group will always handle stunning the boss. So when that comes up in this fight, this first one is one of the charges. When the red group gets pulled in, they will always walk right as a group together to keep their webs. The other group will just walk straight and break. Oh no, unless they're gripped first, then they will split naturally. All right. So we'll see this happen here. Oh, there's a frontal here first. Every time this happens in this fight, twice, we want to make sure our groups are in a straight line to the middle. This is important for the spread after, so the group will make sure to bait here. They will now stand from the outside to the middle as a straight line. Blue is right in front of them up to the top of my screen here. Pull soon. Red's first. They get gripped. They will walk right together as a unit. Blue is second. You'll see blue spawned a little bit farther back here. That's good, and we'll aim to do that. So the big bug, there's no damage amp here yet, so the big bug's just tanked farther off this. The reason for that is after this pull and we're walking out, this pull happens and a big circle happens. Because they're tanked off, people can run up and grab these orbs a little bit early, which is nice. Outside that, red group will naturally spread. We just need 3 people to spread, but you're just going to naturally do it. This can be scary. This is a very good, like, oh my god, we're dead, right? There's like a very sliver of room. Somehow they don't die here. None of them die somehow. Big damage. Boom. As soon as this is done, you break. If there's any leftover, it's very simple. You notice red did not get much uptime. This bait is on a red player, so when this baits, we need to have the bait towards the middle of the room. They do it perfect, and then they immediately rotate as soon as this frontal happens. So you don't get giga uptime on this guy, unfortunately, as a red team, but that's just the way life goes. We then prep for the next pull. This pull, and I will calm this every time, is a normal P2 pull. So the first group that pulls goes left and right and breaks. Second group walks straight. Okay, so playing back off the boss as a range like this is super good. Boom. Okay. They might have got pulled second there. Yeah, they did, because they went through first. So group blue here will go left and right. Some are on the wall there. The rest will go on. If you go right and you're together, you just break after. It's not a big deal. Okay, so you get pulled through. Kurog rotations. We have to get the orbs before they explode. Bang. Dispels are going on. I think we can get 1 or 2 dispels before TPs to the middle. So they got 1, then it's to the middle, 2, 1 dispel, 2, 1 dispel, 2, 1 dispel. This is the last one. 1 second before big boom. Bang. Damage amp on the skinny guy. All right. So we just do this one more time. We have less sometimes in here. That'll be great for you. So coming out of this, the boss will TP. We will follow the boss. You will go to the side that is closest to you. The closest side to red for where she TPs here is far. So red will go on the right, blue will go on the left because they are naturally closer. This spade is on red. And there is a charge coming up right after this. So red will now play directly behind the boss, ready for the pull. I believe red, they do get the first pull here. So they will get gripped. They will walk together as a unit. The second group will get grouped, sorry. We will soak each other's orbs. The same thing, boss is tanked a little bit farther back so we don't have bad spawns. And we do the same thing again. Big damage here. There's dispels going off exactly the same time. This is the scariest part of the fight. You have to live. This charge, boss, make sure you get it through the middle because this boss is going to TP. You get double damage back to back. We lust this charge right here. They're way ahead on bust damage. They technically lusted a little bit early. Well, to most kills. We just do this dispel normally. You hit this ad. And when this entanglement is done, bang, we now have this one. So you swap boss to boss. You're nuking. That's the rest of the fight. You just stand here and kill the boss. Simple as that. One thing I want to touch on was the, you'll see this orb spawn here. Sorry, it's the pull right here. Right here. Right here. So in P1, you can't stack any of the poisons together, right? It's very, very important you do not stack any of the poisons, right? Because you'll spawn 2 orbs. That is gone after P1, right? These two stand directly on top of each other. And although this is bad because it spawns 2 orbs on top of each other, it does not duplicate any more orbs, so it's technically okay. In my opinion, to make this cleaner, maybe they stack in groups of 2 there on purpose. I have to look into that. I'm not sure, but keep in mind you just can't double soak orbs, so it's just gonna be groups playing around each other. These will again be the scariest part of the fight. This will be everything you have left. Now the last thing I want to talk about, our raid plan's accurate, by the way. It's been updated, so it might be counterclockwise every time, but we'll see. Is this part right here is your damage CDs. So every fight is pretty scripted. Most classes, if you're like a 30-second or a 1 minute, you just use, like, if you're 45 seconds or less, you just use it on CD, right? If you are 2 minutes, you will use it. Well, if you're 1.5 minutes, it looks like you use it pull, and then you use it for the second break. If you're 2 minutes, you use it on the first break. Boomkins are weird. I don't know what they're doing. So pretty much you hold for the first, right? You get the damage amp, you slam your CDs, then you'll use it the first in P2, so you end up holding again, right? But you want that damage amp. And then you have 1 for use before lust at 8 minutes. So you'll breath at 540, and that will leave breath up at 8 minutes. Depending on our damage, we will either push up lust or leave lust later. If we push up lust, I mean, you'll have CDs up as a 2-minute class anyway. If we push lust later, then you'll just hold for that lust point. Very, very, very simple. 1.5, so looks like you use it on second. Okay, not many of those anyway. All right, so if you have questions about your CDs or how we want that to be organized, let me know. But that does cover most of that. And that should be good. That kind of covers the whole fight. The best thing you can do is just learn the small stuff, splitting left and right, know which group you're in left and right so you don't have to think about it. And learning P1, if we can learn P1 Monday, this fight will probably die. Okay? Whether that is Monday because we're nuts, and if not Monday, you know, maybe Wednesday next week, or who knows. But we can save a lot of pulls on this fight with prep. If you have questions from this, reach out in your personal channels. I'm more than happy to answer. I'd rather you ask them now if you see anything different to let me know, rather than just go in and see what happens, because this is a very scripted fight. All right, guys? Thanks for taking the time. I hope this video helps you. And if you need anything, just let me know. Thanks.